Okay, so in today's video, something a little bit different. We're going to be having a look at business English, and it's the C1 level business English. But wait, even if you think you're C2 and you're an English god, this video is actually quite useful. I mean, a lot of people who are at C1, C2 level complain a little bit about how the exam is using language that, that's not everyday words, that's very literary, those terms that we're having to learn for the exam. And to a certain extent, I can agree, maybe particularly C2 is quite academic, but business English, I think, has got some really useful vocabulary in it, particularly if you're thinking about going to work abroad. And, a lot of the time I do get asked, what are the Cambridge exams good for? And, take a look at the list that Cambridge have on their website of big companies that accept the C1 Higher Business Certificate. Casio, do you want to work in the watch industry? Casio accepts C1 Higher English, Business English. Procter & Gamble. What more do I need to say? Adidas. You like trainers? Do this exam. Study portals. And here's the golden ticket. Irish Naturalisation and Immigration Service. You want to decide who gets into Ireland? Do this exam. Berlin School of Economics and Law. London South Bank University. ICN Business School. So that's just they're according to the website. These are just a few of the leading organisations that will accept your certificate. So yeah, the idea is that there are a lot of big institutions, a lot of big companies that recognise this as a valid qualification. If you can prove you've got an advanced level, and particularly in vocabulary to do with business, then that's a pretty good indicator to an employer that language isn't going to be a barrier in the job. You're going to understand basic messages. You're going to understand what your colleagues and what your bosses are talking to you about. And I've got to say, in this little test here, there's 25 questions essentially. It's basically reading comprehension, multiple choice. And they are the kind of messages you would get from colleagues or from your boss. So we're going to have a look at this. The first exercise, just 4 questions here. And we basically have to choose the correct interpretation of the message. No? So we'll see. Okay, it says, why is the HR department sending this email? HR is human resources, obviously. There you go, straight away, HR department. You need to know that that's human resources. So to all staff from HR department, it says, please remember that your manager must agree any holiday dates before you complete a form. So why is this message being sent? Is it to ask staff for some information? To explain how something is done, or to tell managers about a problem? I think it's directed to all staff, so it's not specifically to managers. I don't think it's that last option. The first one says to ask staff for some information. I don't think they're asking the staff to provide any information there, are they? To explain how something is done. I think they are explaining how a process is completed, yeah. That the managers must agree to the dates that you have for holidays before you fill out the form. So they're explaining a process, they're explaining how something is done. Yeah, I think that one's relatively easy to start with. Okay, 2, it says Fine Foods requires an agent to. So this is a job offer. So what do Fine Foods need? What do they need from a candidate? It says job opportunity, Fine Foods, description. Agent required for nationwide distribution. Some experience in food retail is an advantage. Refrigerated van provided. Okay, so what do we gather from that? What do the candidates need? Does the agent need to own a suitable vehicle for delivery? I don't think so, no, because the vehicle is provided, the refrigerated van to distribute the food nationwide all over the country is provided. So no, you don't need to own a suitable vehicle. No, I don't think so. Be a specialist in food distribution. Well, it says some experience in food retail is an advantage, but some experience is not being a specialist, is it? So deliver foods all over the country. It says, yeah, first sentence, agent required for nationwide distribution. Yeah, it's clearly the third option there, yeah. Okay. All staff. Staff should tell Jane Fellows. What should staff tell Jane Fellows? So it says to all staff, accounts course is the subject. So it's a course to do with accounts. Okay, staff wishing to enroll for the accounts course should contact Jane Fellows, who needs to know numbers. Right, so staff wishing to enroll should contact Jane Fellows, who needs to know numbers. So, remember the question. Staff should tell Jane Fellows, what should they tell her? How many people have enrolled for the course? Do the individual members of staff need to contact Jane Fellows and say, there are 20 people? No, I don't think that's the correct option, no. If they are interested in doing the course, yeah, that sounds right. No, they're going to contact her to tell her, yes, I'm interested. No, I'm not interested, so that she knows how many people are going to be on the course. Yeah, because she needs to know numbers. That's what it says in the last little phrase there. Which of the courses they have decided to do? Well, they're only talking about one course. There's an accounts course. There's only one, so no, it's clearly the second option there. Okay, and we're moving on. Part number 4, it says contact Neil Smith if you want to. And then we have 4 options. Okay, so what does Neil Smith say? What does it say about Neil Smith? Phone Neil Smith at our showroom for a free quotation or to arrange a visit from our representative. A showroom, typically where you sell cars, isn't it? It's where you go to look at new cars. A showroom could be to sell other things, but yeah, often it's to do with vehicles, cars. So, phone Neil Smith for a free quotation. A quotation is when a company tell you how much something is going to cost, or is usually is expected to cost, and then they try to change it. But no, a quotation in theory, that's how much it's going to cost, and you can quote me on that. Okay. So it says, to contact Neil Smith if you want to obtain information about the company's prices. Well, it says phone Neil Smith at our showroom for a free quotation, so that sounds pretty good. Arrange a visit to the showroom? No, it says you can arrange a visit from our representative. So if you phone Neil Smith, you can ask him to send a representative to see you. He'll probably bring a catalogue with him to show you the different products that they have available. So no, it's not arrange a visit to the showroom, no. Speak to a representative about special offers. It doesn't mention special offers. It says that, yes, he can send a representative to see you. No, it's clearly the first option, to obtain information about the company's prices, I think. Yeah, to get a free quotation. Right, okay, so now we're moving on. We've got reading multiple choice exercises here in the next section, in the next 3 sections, in fact. So it gets a little bit more complicated here, I would say. But you have 4 options basically here. It says, crash course in satisfying your customers. So we have basically a couple of paragraphs here where we have to choose the correct option in each gap. So it says, you suspect that your customers aren't as happy as they once were. First, existing customers seem to be, you for the competition. So they seem to be you for the competition, almost as fast as you can get new ones. So it sounds like the customers that you have are diminishing. They're leaving you for the competition almost as fast as you can get, at the same rate at which new customers are coming in. So you're not making any progress. So let's have a look at the options. They are departing you. No, depart really is an intransitive verb. A customer can depart. You can depart. They can't depart you. No. Abandoning you. Yeah, I think that's the correct one. Defecting, again, is an intransitive verb. We use the word defecting a lot when we're talking about politics. When a politician decides to defect and go over to the opposition party. In fact, probably use it more in the military sense. You know, in a war, when one group defects and joins the other side, or an individual defects and joins the other side. Okay, so defecting you, no. Withdrawing you, no. You can withdraw is to take yourself away. You can withdraw someone else, but they're not withdrawing you. Withdraw means to take out. So no, it's clearly abandoning. Yeah, they seem to be abandoning you for the competition. Second, your company has started to become the butt of bad jokes at conferences and in the press. The butt of bad jokes. So when people are making jokes, they use you as the reference all the time. I suppose that could be like, I suppose if you're thinking about airline companies in England, the butt of the joke is usually Ryanair, because for all of their cost cutting measures and so on, and having very little leg room, etc. So how do you set about measuring and improving your customers' satisfaction? Well, it's important to see things through their eyes. You can your service yourself, or watch your customers using it. So I suppose it's like use your service yourself or something like that. Or watch your customers using it. Probably to avoid repetition, we're going to use a different word other than use. So let's see. You can tastes. Well, that's just grammatically wrong. You can tastes. Taste without an S. Perhaps. Try your service. Yeah, that sounds good. You can try your service yourself. Experiment your service yourself. Experiment sounds almost passive, doesn't it? It's like when you experience something. If you do an experiment, if you run an experiment, you can run an experiment on something. So you could run an experiment on your service. Carry out an experiment on your service, but no, it doesn't fit here. You can attempt your service. No, you attempt to do something. You attempt your service. What would that even mean? That you it doesn't collocate. It doesn't make any sense to attempt your service. No, it's to try. It's to try. You try your service yourself, or watch your customers using it. A further option is to carry out some qualitative research with your customers. Okay, yes, qualitative research, that basically asking questions like a survey, and listening to the responses and trying to collect data, noticing coincidences in the feedback. Whichever way you choose, the objective is to identify the on which customers will form their judgments of your service. So I guess like, so to identify the problems, we'll see that we'll have a look at the options here. So the objective is to identify the topics on which your customers will form their judgments of your service. Well, the topic, no, because the topic is clearly going to be your your business or the thing that you are selling. So it's not the topic, I don't think. The subject on which your customers will form their judgment of yours. Again, it doesn't quite sound correct, because the subject is very clear. It's going to be whatever you are selling. No, if Ryanair are selling flights, people, that's the subject on which people will judge them. Obviously, they're not going to judge them on a different subject. The headings, I have no idea how that would work. The heading is what you put at the beginning of a piece of writing. No, I don't think it could be headings. The issues, the questions, the problems, the issues on which, on that issue is, I make my decision on that issue. I make my judgment on that issue. It's clearly issues. Identify the issues on which customers will form the judgment of your service, so you can frame your questions accordingly, right? So you have to think, okay, where are the things that will affect what my customers will think about my company, and then that way I can think of what questions I'm going to ask the customers in order to obtain my qualitative data. It would be foolish to think you could know all of those questions, let alone their answers, right? At the, I suppose, like at the beginning, before going through this process. So, you can't just know what questions you have to ask them and know what answers or predict what answers you're going to get. So you need to have a long think about this, because you couldn't know this at the outset. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. At the outset, at the introduction, at the origin, at the foundation. They're all very, very similar. So let alone their answers at the, again, I think this is just an expression. You either know it or you don't. So it's at the outset. It's at the outset, from the beginning, before you've done any of that thinking process. You can't know what questions to ask or what answers you might obtain. No, okay. But your reputation is at if you fail to deliver. So your reputation could be damaged if you don't make improvements. No, your reputation is at danger. No, it's in danger. Is at risk, at peril, at hazard. Your reputation is, like I said, in danger, at risk, sounds good, in peril, and I don't know what you would say. What preposition goes with hazard? You could say that if you fail to deliver, it could be hazardous for your reputation. Failing to deliver could be a hazard for your reputation. No, your reputation is at risk. Don't embark on a customer satisfaction exercise unless you are prepared to act on the results. If you ask people what they are unhappy about and then do nothing about it, you will leave them more disillusioned with you than ever. So you have to be prepared to actually put these take the advice from the customers and put it into action, I suppose. And remember that it's a target. Today's satisfied customer is tomorrow's bored one. So it's some kind of target. It's going, passing, moving, traveling. It is a moving target is the expression. So you can think about hunting. We talk about a moving target now, because obviously when you're trying to shoot an animal. Shooting coming up again. Like the last 5 videos. But it's a moving target. is an animal, for example, that you're trying to shoot, you're trying to hunt. Obviously, if you go to the fairground as well, you get those moving targets that you have to try and shoot with the little air rifle. There you go. That's enough shooting for one day. So it's a moving target. Yeah, today's satisfied customer. You have a satisfied customer, but they could get bored. So you think, okay, I'm providing a service. They're happy. Yeah, but then they just disappear, you know, because they're just kind of bored. They want you to change. You have to evolve. You have to adapt. A service level that, the button today may be considered downright sloppy in 6 months' time. So there's an expression with the button. So I guess a service that satisfies today, a service that touches the button. I think we use that in a negative sense. No, if you're touching someone's button, or we talk about pressing someone's buttons, I think, you know, to try and make them angry. You know, you start sort of poking at them. No, I don't know. Hits, knocks, strikes. That hits the button. You hit the button. A service that hits the button, a service that satisfies today, may be considered downright sloppy in 6 months' time. Sloppy, as in not working very well. It's disorganized. It's lazy. No, complacent. Such is the pace of change. Yes, things change very quickly. So keep saying to yourself, let's find out where our performance falls below expectations and then see what we can do about it. Right, yes, you've got to continually evaluate your performance. Okay, a couple more sections like this and then we're finished. Three or four. We have an example of a company here. It's Reed Joinery, experts in wood. Yes, joiners. Okay, so let's see. Reed Joinery was established by Gordon Reed 15 years ago as a small company specializing in wooden structures from floors to staircases. Since then, we have evolved significantly. We attribute our success to the dedication and expertise of our workforce, which from 6 apprentices to permanent employees who are highly qualified and experienced. So that's showing like a very big variety, you know, of workers. You've got 6 apprentices, so an apprentice is usually a young person, 16 to 18 years of age, who you take on to show them how the job is done. They're often paid very little money, sometimes no money. While they're learning the trade, particularly in something like joinery, which is a very skilled job. You need a lot of time to learn. So they have 6 apprentices, and they have permanent employees who are very highly qualified and experienced. So they've got a workforce which ranges, spreads, distributes, and expands. Well, it ranges from 6 apprentices to permanent employees who are highly qualified and experienced. Yeah, that's the variety. It ranges from this right down here, the apprentices, to the very highly qualified and experienced professionals. No? Our workforce, our staff. No? Read actively employees to progress through the company. And many of the current surveyors and site managers launched their careers on the Reed workshop floor. So what does it do? I think it's saying that the company tries to help the employees get through the company, to get to a higher level of expertise. So Reed actively encourages, supports, promotes, or rewards. I think it actively encourages, employees to progress through the company. Actively supports. Either you support something or you don't. You can't actively or inactively support Actively encourage. No, they try and motivate you. That sounds right. That sounds like the right collocation. Actively, they promote their employees. Well, yeah, but rewards employees to progress. No, it rewards them by giving them a promotion when they do get better, I suppose. Now, the only one that I can see that would work there is actively encourages employees to progress through the company. No, it tries to motivate them to get better at their job. And the fact is that most of the employees, it says, or many of them at least, began life on the workshop floor. On the workshop floor, obviously, joinery, like working with wood, like the workshop is where you do the most physical, like menial part of the job. So, they've become surveyors or managers, but they started off in the workshop, right? They've worked their way up. They've been actively encouraged by the company. Quality is at the forefront of Reed's philosophy. So it's the most important thing to this company, Reed, no? And each new project, whatever its size, is with the same dedication and completed to the highest quality standards, is treated with the same dedication. I don't know. Let's have a look at the options. So it doesn't matter how big the project is. It is advanced, focused, worked, handled. Yeah, I think it's handled with the same dedication. Doesn't matter how big the project is. It's handled with the same dedication and completed to the highest standards of quality. It doesn't matter if you're a small individual house that needs something fixed or if it's a palace. They do the job to the same standards, right? Apparently. This enthusiasm is reflected in the numerous industry awards the company has received. Okay, they've received awards for their good work. Okay. At present, Reed is in the refurbishment of a major concert hall in London, with particular responsibility for the stage and acoustic panels. So they are what? They are concerned in, that doesn't make sense, I don't think, involved in, preoccupied in, committed in. So I think there's only one that collocates with in there. They are involved in the refurbishment of a major concert hall. They're preoccupied with, they're worried about, committed to. No, they're involved in, right? They're involved in, and because they're clearly not the only company. No, they are involved, but with particular responsibility for the stage and acoustic panels. That's what they are especially working on. Probably other companies have other areas of expertise that are being used for different parts of the concert hall. This is our largest project to date and is expected to be completed within and on schedule. So within, you might be thinking, would be referring to something like time, within 6 months or something like that. But it says on schedule, so that means on time. So maybe this is something to do with money, I don't know. Within cost, within budget, within estimate, within funding. So you give a quote or the company that owns the concert hall have a certain amount of money and they say, this is how much we can spend. We cannot go over this budget. It must be completed within budget. No, we can't suddenly say, well, we can't finish this because we don't have certain parts or whatever. No, you've given a quote. The company that are contracting you have a budget and you have to work within that budget, no, to complete the project. Reed's varied project includes numerous blue chip companies such as the BBC and Shell. Yeah, blue chip companies. I forget the exact meaning of that, but it refers to big companies. Blue chip, is that they're on the stock market? I don't know what it is exactly, but I can't remember the exact meaning, but it makes a company sound important when you call it a blue chip company. Reed's varied project. So I guess like the folder. I don't know. I don't want to say the word. I think I know the word. Let's have a look at the options. So it says Reed's varied project collection, assortment, portfolio, accumulation. Right. So the typical expression here is their project portfolio. Includes a number of blue chip companies. The portfolio, is essentially, the collection of clients that they have, the group of clients that they have, and projects that they're doing. It's a portfolio. Okay, perhaps one of our most prestigious projects was the restoration work we carried out. I said it accidentally. It's just so natural there, to complete something, to do something is, to carry off, carry on, carry over, carry out, was the restoration work we carried out at Windsor Castle. However, our focus is not upon corporate clients alone. Many private residences, too, have been refurbished for clients. Okay, all right, good. So they do big companies, palaces, everything, and individual private residences, houses. Okay, good. So let's move on to the final parts. There's just a few more questions here. It says business case study, OFC Cooperative. This week we take a look at the Scottish company, OFC Cooperative. OFC Cooperative is a supplier of industrial chemicals, and in terms of job applications, it is currently one of the most popular employers in Aveburn. Okay. Unlike a number of its competitors, which are currently at a loss, OFC has reported its most successful year ever, mainly due to a major new contract early in the year. So yes, there's an expression here when companies are losing money. It says many of its competitors are managing at a loss, acting at a loss, conducting or running. The expression is many of its competitors are running at a loss. Running at a loss, that they are losing money, basically. They're running, they're still continuing to work, but at a loss. No, not at a profit. However, OFC is having its most successful year ever because it had a big contract early in the year. The company has plans to expand its core business in the coming year. A key factor in the company's success has been its wish to create a highly skilled and motivated workforce. As highlighted, right? So this is their wish, their dream essentially is to create a highly skilled and highly motivated workforce, as highlighted, as they insist on in its mission. So in essentially like the manifesto of the company, what we call it is what? A mission statement, mission announcement, mission promise, mission undertaking. It's a mission statement. No, it's when you state your mission, state what you're aiming to achieve. No, the company's mission statement highlights that they want a highly skilled, highly motivated workforce. All of this is very, very good business lingo, business talk, business speak. All right, management speak, I think, is what they call it, isn't it? Yeah. It doesn't actually mean anything. It just sounds good. Buzzwords. One of Stuart Green's first actions on becoming the new managing director last year was to his employees' training needs. Was to what? Assess, value, reckon, figure. I guess he needed to find out what training needs his employees had. So I guess it would be to assess his employees' training needs. I guess you could say evaluate. No, not reckon or figure. No, assess his employees' training needs. He then established a training program to enable all staff to work towards nationally qualifications. I guess we need some kind of adjective here. To work towards, he wants them to achieve qualifications that are classified, recognized, identified, regarded at a national level. I think we would say nationally recognized qualifications. Yeah, he wants them to get programs that are nationally recognized, like the B1 Higher business thing that we're doing today. You want to work in that Irish National Naturalisation Immigration Service? I know I do. Anyway, Stewart said that motivating his staff was very important for him, adding, as well as making sure employees have the training and good working conditions, I've tried to ensure that staff at all of the company are fully informed about the activities of the cooperative and are made to feel part of a unique organisation. As well as making sure employees have access, entrance, availability, admission, that they are able to get good training and working conditions, they have access to training and good working conditions. I've tried to ensure that staff at all, in every part, in every department, at all ranks, that's too military, statures, levels, positions, in all positions maybe, but at all levels of the company are fully informed about the activities of the cooperative and made to feel part of a unique organisation. The future of the company is good. It's seeming good. Seems like it will be good. Showing good, looking good, appearing good. When we're talking about what things look like in the future, I've just said the word. Looking good. The company is looking good. The future of the company is looking good. Having invested in both training and new facilities, this cooperative is now a major supplier of premium products, not just in the UK, but throughout Europe. Let's get my result. I've nailed this exam. Get result. Give me my result. I need to know, can I work in the Irish National... Wow! 25 out of 25. And today there are no excuses. I got 25 out of 25. Well done for completing the test. Your test score shows that you could be ready to start preparing C1 Business Higher. There you go. Come on, Irish Naturalisation and Immigration Service. INIS, as we call it. You know, that's my dream. I don't know why I found that funny. Anyway, we've finished, I guess, for today. No, I hope you did well. Any questions, leave them in the comments section, I guess. Okay, goodbye.